What up, everybody? It's Triple T. I'm back again with another episode of Country Rap Tea. So if you're new to the channel, go and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That way you know whenever I do a video, you won't be left out. And trust me, this is one of the realest channels you'll find on YouTube. I can promise you that. And please watch this video all the way through. Share this video. Get your family and friends to do the same. That way we get built up on the algorithm and continue to make the channel grow. All right, y'all know the deal. Sit back, relax, strap your boots on, and enjoy the ride because we're going to jump up into it. Today's episode of Country Rap Tea, we're talking about Savannah Dexter and Brabo Gator. Now, for those you don't know, Savannah Dexter has a podcast called Dex in the City. And you can view it, the full episodes, on her Patreon. And if you look in the description of this video, you'll see that link to that Patreon. And I highly recommend you become a member of her Patreon to check out these dope-ass podcasts that she's been putting out here lately. Because there is some very good information and some juicy material in there. I'm a member. I got the VIP package. It's like $17 a month, and it's well worth it. But anyway, Bravo Gator finally speaks his mind after 2 years of being silent, or almost 3 years of being silent, from the infamous Upchurch disc that was put out in 2022. 2 weeks right before him and Savannah got married. And let me tell you, Bravo Gator doesn't hold back. So, this is going to be a 3-part series of this 2-hour podcast that Savannah Dexter sits down with her husband, Bravo Gator, to discuss about the country rap lane, Mako music, and what was going through his mind when all this unraveled. So, watch this video and we'll talk about it at the end.
Over the past few years, especially since my career has started, we are celebrating the 5-year anniversary of you and I meeting.
Yeah.
And about to be the 5-year anniversary of when Savannah Dexter launched. And ever since that day, there has just been so much shit that has went down. There's been drama. There's been people who have come in and out of the team. There's been the rise of Mako, the downfall of Mako, and you have never spoke on any of this before.
And I'm not going to hold back today. So today you get it if you got a problem with it, Brant.
I love to hear it. I think that I personally, and I know you know this, but I personally have wanted this episode or this conversation from you for a very long time that we're never told. I feel like it's only right, seeing as how I'm bringing everybody else on who was involved in all of this mess, that I bring Gator on. I feel like a lot of seeds were planted even before I came about. So,
I think too, even when the stuff was happening and we decided not to speak on it, it's like old code on my side of it. It's when there's an active beef, there's something going on, the least you talk, the better. So where everybody was talking and running their mouths, we were more strategically planning and pushing forward. They got the recognition of, oh, they were able to say what happened and everybody rode with it, or what. I don't care.
Surely.
But today, since it's all fizzled out,
Yeah.
it's the truth of what actually was happening during those times.
I want to know how you landed into the country rap scene and how you met all of these people.
I'm a firm believer, like when you say the country rap scene, my belief is this, and I'm 99% I'm correct. I think country rap, as we know it now, all it is what Nashville rap was. They took Nashville rap, the scene, and call it country rap, and then more people from different states started joining on or whatever it is. But we've been doing this type of music for 20 some odd years. Nashville is where it started. No matter who you give the roses to, it is where it started. Nashville's where it started at. Nashville, when you live there, now it's blown up so big, it's crazy. But when we were living there early on, it was a country music capital of the world. That's all people wanted, and we didn't really want a lot to do with country. There was like a street scene over there, there was, we were doing more rap and stuff. Um, so when we started doing rap, being from Nashville, you got that country twang to it, the same topic matter, there was a little similarities, and I think that was the birth of country rap. Whether you give it to Colt Ford, whether you give it to Haystack, it came up out of Nashville. There wasn't streams like there is today, so it was hard to make a living off of independent music.
So where were you when that stuff was happening? Like, were you around? Did you
I was
know
in the
Colt?
south side of Antioch, not giving a fuck about Colt Ford or Brantley Gilbert. Nor did I know who they were.
Okay, so that wasn't like
Brantley Gilbert to us he was a singer. He
Right.
was never a rapper. Colt Ford, and this is not throwing. I love Colt Ford, right?
Yeah.
But this is just being transparently open. At that time, he was just corny.
okay.
It was a corny dude trying to rap. We didn't take it serious because he was trying to do rap. What he was doing was revolution. I mean, it was amazing. But the way we saw it, where we were, the way we were living, it was corny. We ain't gonna listen to that fuck shit.
Okay. So,
Brantley Gilbert was a singer. I didn't know who that was till probably 5 years after the Dirt Road anthem song came out
Really?
and then came back. Yeah, I had no idea who the fuck he was.
Okay, so how the hell was something so big boiling in Nashville and you didn't know about it?
We lived in a different world.
Okay.
We live in a different world.
You weren't listening to the radio? Because, like, I don't know how you. If I knew about it all the way in Florida,
I don't even know.
How,
I don't think Colt Ford and Brantley song was on the radio. I think
Chilling on a Dirt Road?
Mm-mm.
Well, Chilling
Not-
on a Dirt
not
Road
that-
definitely was.
Not that version of it. The Jason Aldean version of it
Mhm.
was, and maybe they brought it back. But I know Colt had a hard time getting on the radio
okay.
because the way we thought in the rap world, we thought what he was doing was corny, right?
Yeah.
Country music thought what he was doing was like, what is this shit? He was lost in the middle, trying to be a pioneer and break through for what he was doing, which I fully respect now looking back on it, But country radio wouldn't give him a time of day either. The first time I heard of Church and Johnny Cashville, Rehab, as we call him, whatever, hopefully he remembers this, but he was telling me about, because Tubbs, one of our mutual friends with Church, was managing Church at the time, right? So when Rehab told me about Church, it seeing what he was doing was like triggering. Like, it's the same Colt Ford shit. That shit's corny. Me and Church got on the phone with each other back then. This is like 10, 12, whatever long ago, when he was first coming up. I remember looking at it and going, this guy's got 20,000 followers, whatever the fuck it was at that time, right? He was up and coming. He was doing good. But I remember getting him on the phone going, you're fucking gay. Looking back at it, I shouldn't have been that way towards an up and coming artist,
Sure.
right? But knowing who he is, fuck him.
Yeah.
But country rap, explain this shit, bro. We weren't doing country rap. We were doing rap music that came out of Nashville. I think the whole genre aspect of it's fucking corny.
Yeah.
I think labeling stuff, I think it's Southern flair to music.
Mm-hmm.
A good song was a good song no matter what genre it falls in.
Yeah.
But they've made it fucking corny.
So when I met you, you had just come off of taking a break from music. So how did you, was that just your only conversation with Ryan and then it was done? How did you meet
Yeah,
Adam?
that was probably 2014, I'm guessing.
And then that was it?
Yeah, that was it. Fuck
Okay.
it. I left music for a couple reasons. One, I wasn't disciplined enough and patient enough at that time to ever be able to make this into a business. So I went and got a job, right? I was working for a roofing company. And I just kind of gave up on music. I mean, you still write and stuff, You still have songs that I still put out, but I stopped doing it. There's just songs that are sitting in the bank. But I needed to learn discipline. I needed to learn structure, a lot of things that I was sporadic with, If I had 10 grand that came in, and you can bet your ass 9,800 of it's gone by tomorrow, we're going to figure out something to shake something loose, right?
He's crazy.
But I had to learn that stuff. It was humbling. So I took a break from music. When I came back in into 19, beginning of 2020, you start looking at everything as a different landscape. And I remember, ironically enough, Hosier and Adam were into it with each other, right? So Rehab again calls me. He's like, hey man, this dude is picking on people. He's picking on people. I'm like, and I don't like that shit. I don't like people picking on people. I'm like, who? They're like, this Adam Calhoun dude. is picking on this Hozier guy. That's what I was told. He's like,
Oh, okay.
he's gonna whatever. So I'm like, oh. And then Rehab being from, he's from Nashville and being the homie from back then, I'm like, well, fuck this Adam dude. Fuck this Adam dude. Why is he picking on people? I get the Hozier on the phone. And I remind you, I don't know. I couldn't tell you one lyric either one of them has ever wrote in their life, but I'm like, they're picking on people that bother me. And that's what it was too. It was saying that Adam was picking on David Ray,
Okay.
that I was close to at the time. And I'm like, oh, you're just picking on people that are from
Right.
the hometown. So fuck you, Adam.
Yeah, we don't like bullies over
I
here.
think Adam was on live one day and I jumped up on his live. He had no idea who I was. And honestly, I had no idea who he was. I'm like, fuck you. And then he was like, I don't even know who you are. I'm like, fuck you. And at that point, I wasn't saved. I was still fucking, like, there was still something loose inside my brain. And I'm like, oh, fuck you? Because I'm used to like old rap world.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you. That's cool. And he's like, I don't give a, you're just being
Yeah.
the way Adam is now. But at that point, I took it differently. So I was going to go to one of his shows and shoot off bottle rockets.
Oh, okay.
Right? And we had mutual friends, the Sticks, Joe Sticks, to tell you the exact name. But I was talking to them. I'm like, who is this dude, bro? In my brain, I'm like, I've never heard of this dude. He's from up north. What is going on? What is this? What is happening in the world?
Yeah.
And he had a show in Fort Myers. So, that's what it was. And Joe Sticks was like, no, he's a good dude, bro. Trust me, he's a good dude. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm like, no, I got it planned out. I'm going to go to the fireworks store. The bottle rockets are 2 for $1. We're going to get those, and that's what we're going to do. Kids like fireworks. Whatever. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to hide what I'm trying to say. And then he was like, no, he's a solid dude. So I'm like, oh, okay. So Justin Time was in that mix too. Justin was defending Adam. I didn't know who Justin Time was. I was like, fucking, why is Abe Lincoln rapping? What the fuck is going on here? I'm like, what is going on with this world that I knew? This is a whole new world, you know? Justin was defending Adam and going at Hozier. So I was like, well, y'all are 2-on-1-ing. So I jumped in and I dissed Justin. Because Justin was like, your jewelry was fake and all that. And I'm like, who are you? What is happening? This is not. So I dissed Justin on behalf of Hozier, trying to defend him. Dissed Adam. Not dissed him, but like, hey, if y'all want, whoever wants it, whatever. Quickly, I realized that it wasn't like the bottle rocket world.
Yeah.
It was, this is what we're doing. So I'm like, okay. So the songs came out. And that was stupid because I jumped into shit. I didn't even know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, I cannot believe that you defended Hozier. That's kind of like crazy.
I thought they were picking on him at the time.
Yeah. Well.
But
he deserves to be picked on.
Even
I don't say that about many people.
Even at that time, Hozier came out to Florida. He hung out or whatever. He didn't do nothing wrong to me. There was nothing he did to me that I was like, oh man, fuck this dude, on that level. But the things that he was doing to other people that you started realizing is like, okay, that's not okay to do that. That's not okay to do that.
Right.
And it didn't really light up with me with Hozier until your stuff started coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, oh, and hating.
Yeah.
That's when it lit up.
You got into the mix with all of them on a bad note.
Yeah.
So when did it turn to like, okay,
I think
cool.
After the Hozier stuff, me and Adam started talking. We became friends,
Okay.
And it was like, he was like, I didn't know. I took you the wrong way. I'm like, I took you the wrong way. Like, and it was mutual.
Okay.
We started talking. And we realized we had things in common and we were whatever, and we became cool. And then we realized that like Jelly was, me and Jelly were close. Jelly liked Adam. So we started saying, okay, there's mutual people that like each other. So it's like it all fizzled away. And that's probably, I say, January, February, somewhere in that ballpark, 2020, March 2020.
Okay, so early.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that you had all of these ties with people, nor did I know, like when he's talking about country rap, like, do you want to rap? Do you know how to rap? Like, blah, blah, blah. I had no idea that the country rap world was as big as it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, previously stated, I had seen some of these people you've heard you and Uncle Wesley are like besties now. You've heard Uncle Wesley say that he listened to Adam. We knew of Jelly, like little bits in there, but I wasn't deep into it to
TurboTax.
know. Right, I wasn't deep into it to know all of these artists and to know how big Ryan was and to know a Hosier or a Just in Time or that, like I said, Colt Ford was was huge to me. Brantley Gilbert was huge to me.
I didn't. This is the first time I'm telling this. I didn't fucking know either. Like even when I met you, right? Like I knew Adam did music, and I'm like, he does a following, and I didn't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like I really didn't care. Not knocking anybody, but to me, like my homeboy Jelly's doing more than y'all. I don't give a fuck. You know, I don't
Right.
even, whatever. Struggle's doing this or what. I didn't really care about country rap. Even the church aspect of it, I didn't really like. I'd heard of him. Like, okay, that's dope. Because Tubbs, we were close.
Yeah.
Like, he'd tell me about it, but I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know, there's nobody can say, oh, you were trying to get a song with Church pre-Savannah. Or you were trying to get a song with Adam pre-Savannah. I didn't
Right.
give a fuck. I was like, somebody was cool, they're cool.
Yeah.
When you came on the scene, like the Katie shit, right? As a on the music executive side, right? The thing that separates people that are successful and the people that aren't is you're willing to take a risk. You know what moves to make. We knew you could sing, knowing you could rap, because you could stay on rhythms on different songs. I'm like, it's something's there. It was putting the pieces together, right? At the same time, the Katie shit with Church was happening. This is the first I'm starting to realize what's going on. So I'm like, oh, okay. So being loyal to Nashville, right? Being loyal to Nashville, I'm like, Katie bitch is lying.
Yeah.
She's lying.
Well, and I
Fuck
thought the
that.
same thing.
Yeah, it was like everybody thought
The
that.
more we started talking about it, I was like, and the thing here is like within what 4 days, 5 days of being at your house, we're sitting in the studio every single day. I'm telling you my entire life story. This is when Cinderella was wrote. This
Yeah.
is when Remember Everything was wrote. This is when I'm literally
Another story was wrote.
Yeah, Another Story was wrote. Half of my first album was practically wrote and partially recorded while Raise Hell was in the process of becoming a thing.
Right.
And I say that to let viewers know Gator knew my past at this point as much as I could, put into words.
You had told me your stuff about like the essay stuff and other stuff, but I knew that stuff genuinely bothered you, right? And then this is like the first time in my life, honestly, right, that I'm hearing somebody that's, I might have heard it a few times before, but I'm like, okay, this is what's going on. Like some people have been through this stuff, not just on TV and stuff. So I'm like, okay, that's weird that people would do that anyway. And then you got this fucking girl over here, and I feel like she's lying over somebody that's from our town. Because Nashville's gonna stick together at the end of the day.
That's how it's supposed to
was.
be. Yeah.
Ain't like that now, but back then, we all fought for each other because we had, it was whatever. But I'm like, this is a situation. I wish somebody would shut this bitch the fuck up. I wish somebody would shut her up. You have a voice of somebody that's actually been through it versus what we thought at the time. This person's faking going through it.
Yeah.
That's how Raise Hell happened. But before that, our angle wasn't that people think, oh, it was just find a girl that can rap to diss her. No. We had half of an album done before that shit even fucking jumped off.
Yeah.
And then you diss Katie, right? And I know we shot the video. The song was recorded. And it was still some hesitancy on both sides. Like, do we do this? Do we not? Whatever. Until she fired off her diss.
Correct.
And it was like, okay, now it's all, let's go.
Yeah.
We're going to fire off. Whatever. The song came out, but everything changed. I remember outside of Jelly, really, nobody was giving me any kind of flowers, any kind of help, any kind of fucking support,
Everybody was
any kind of
calling.
fucking nothing.
Everybody was calling.
No. Before you.
Oh, yeah.
Before you. It
Yeah.
was, oh, that dude's back.
Oh, nobody had talked to you
Let's
for
leave him
years.
on it. I mean, people would check in. Jelly was there.
Yeah.
People would check in, right? But nobody was, whatever. It
I
was
remember
like,
you
oh,
saying that in the
okay. I mean, you
beginning.
need a handout. Or
Yeah.
I mean, that whole vibe. I'm like, who do y'all think you're talking to? Because I had whatever. I did a lot for that music scene over there, When you came out, they're like, oh, first it was like, who is this girl? Who is this? Oh, they're tied into the. Oh, and then the phone starts fucking ringing.
Yeah.
I'm
off
like,
the
which we
hook.
knew was gonna happen.
Yeah.
We knew. I'm like, this is what's gonna happen. This is how Nashville moves.
Mm-hmm.
Nashville's on some fuck shit sometimes, you know. This is how Nashville moves. I'm talking about like the genre, not the genre, but like the music industry. And everybody started calling, trying to figure out what was what. And you were the pretty girl that was new, so there was dudes calling like, "Is she single? Is she? Oh, can we get on her second? Fuck you."
Well, that's not what it was then. Now you can say that because we're married, but
sure,
it was
but
just like
this is real. The thirst trap was real.
Yeah.
You know,
it was.
And then you start
was very
dissing, and
heavy.
everybody's got a motherfucking opinion. And what people didn't realize, I didn't need nobody's fucking opinions.
Yeah. There was one. Okay, so
Where was y'all's
everybody was
opinions?
calling. Everybody was calling, but everybody was hesitant outside of Tubbs.
Mm-hmm.
I still have that phone call. I was recording, not in a weird way. He wasn't saying anything bad, but I just out of like excitement and like, oh, he's so excited or whatever. Mind you, Tubbs was still linked in to Ryan at this time.
Ryan knew.
Hence how we got, because I do want to backpedal a little bit. I don't just want to skip over the music video, because whenever we get into your diss and all that stuff, you dropped a bar in there that is something else we've never spoke publicly about. Ryan tries to act like, or he stated later on in my career, he had no idea who I was, no idea what was going on, but yet I have his literal Can-Am in the Raise Hell music video. Tubbs was at the music video. Justin Time was at the music video. Like, there were so many people that were involved. He absolutely knew what was going on.
Music video for Raise Hell was the first time I saw Justin since I dissed him.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember that.
He ended up being cool. But Church 110% knew about the fucking record.
For sure.
Right? Gave Tubbs a Can-Am to put in the song.
He knew about the song. He knew
Me
about
and Alan, right? Church wanted to meet up from what Tubbs says, which either Tubbs is a liar or Church is, and Tubbs don't really lie. So take that how you want it, right?
Well, you know, Church says everybody
Me
lies,
and Alan went to Panama City because Church was going on vacation, right? He's like, well, Church wants to meet you.
Yeah.
Church wants to meet you, all that stuff. All right, cool. Me and Alan,
I remember.
like, as you know, as country as we're not, we loaded up a fucking kayak and we're like, if we're going to Panama City, we're going shark fishing, no matter what this shit is. That was our number one thing. We're riding an S-Lay with a canoe on top of it
I
with
remember
shark
you telling me
poles.
this.
We get down there and we go on the beach. Tubbs is there. Church is in his hotel room or whatever the fuck that was. And we're fishing, you know, kayaking the bait out 100 yards, 200 yards in the middle of the night, dropping it off. Like, we're fishing. I never saw Church on that trip. He never came out of his hotel room.
That
right?
doesn't surprise
There
me.
would be no reason for him not to come out, you know, but he just never came out. I'm like, that's some fuck shit, right? And as soon as we left, I remember somebody posted a story where Church did where he was outside the room. I'm like, 5 minutes after we leave, that was just weird shit. So that started the like, okay, this is awkward.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we drove up there to see you, you know, but still go fishing because it was, you know, at that time the sharks come real close to whatever. People that know fishing, you know.
Yeah.
And he didn't come out of the room. That was weird. That's after Raise Hell or right before, one or the other. He for sure knew about Raise Hell.
Yeah.
For sure. What I wish would happen in these whole situations is that the artists are scared to be in the room with the other artists. That's the problem. But he could sit right here. I could sit right here. You can hook up a fucking lie detector machine and we'll go. Let's talk. I'm not lying. I have no reason to lie. That was awkward. But you knew about the song when it came out. Finally, somebody supporting. Without that song, do I think that people would have still believed his story? Yes. I think they would have.
No, excuse me. I thought you were going to say something else. Not believed, hounded on it. I don't think people would have consistently brought it up as long as they had or continued to do so after I stepped on the scene. Raise Hell rebirthed it. It made it a bigger situation than it was.
Correct.
And it, not completely annihilated Katie, but it really hurt her.
For sure.
And yeah, I mean, it's not that they wouldn't have believed him. I just think it would have died off because he moves on to
the next victim.
The next.
There you have it. You can tell Brabo didn't hold any punches. He was explaining how the whole incident went down with the Raise Hell video. And when Church said he didn't know anything about it, they actually proved that he did know about it. And about how he went to Panama and Church wouldn't come out of the hotel. And you can tell Brabo is not a very big fan of Brian Upchurch. Church did diss him twice. And Brabo Gator, he did respond 2 years later. But the reason why it took him so long, like I said, they were getting married and he didn't want any stress in their life when they were going through that part of their life. And I don't blame him. But Bravo Gator Boy, he didn't hold any punches. Talked about Colt Ford, Brantley Gilbert, how the whole country rap thing started. Talked about Johnny Cashville, aka Rehab, and the infamous phone call where he called church up and told him that he was gay. Hey, Bravo Gator, if you know anything about him, he don't hold any punches. He is serious as a heart attack. And he'll tell you like it is. And that's one thing I like about him. So put a comment down below and tell me what you think about this right here. There's going to be 2 more videos come out of this podcast. And like I said, look at the description of these videos. And I highly recommend that you go sub up and become a member of Savannah Dexter's Patreon account to Dex in the City podcast, because it is well worth it. I promise you that. All right, y'all know the deal. Stay strong, stay safe, stay blessed. This is TripleT. I'll see you on the next one. You have a blessed one. Have a great day.